What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. I am Shelby Nave, and today it's time for another mob movie commentary. I don't know what it is. We keep going back to this genre. And that probably won't stop anytime soon, to be honest. Yes, today we are going to be watching The Untouchables, another Brian De Palma directed movie. But not only that, we have a lot of familiar faces coming back for this one. We got Robert De Niro, Andy Garcia, Kevin Costner, and Sean Connery. I won't lie to you all, I wouldn't exactly call myself the biggest James Bond fan ever, but I do know that Sean Connery is kind of a big deal. Maybe someday I should watch the James Bond movies, just to just try it out. Of course, I'm also excited to see Kevin Costner. My boyfriend has been pretty obsessed with Yellowstone, and likewise, I've also been watching a lot of Yellowstone. So it'll be fun to take a little jump back in time and see him in a younger role, I guess. And honestly, I don't know why this movie wasn't on my radar sooner, given the fact that it's about Al Capone and the Chicago era during Prohibition. If you've been following me on my channel for a while, you would know that in the past I did some video essays just over the mob in general, and the whole Al Capone, Chicago, Prohibition, bootlegging, whatever, was a huge part of those videos. So I feel like this is right up my alley. Brian De Palma. Brian De Palma is quickly becoming one of my favorite mob movie directors. I'm fairly certain that I'm gonna like this movie just based on the topic that it's around. But I mean, Scarface, Carlito's Way, he's just got an eye for this type of movie. He's right up there with Scorsese for me. Giorgio Armani, isn't that a famous designer or something? Yeah, he's a Italian fashion designer. Wow, okay. So I'm expecting some high-class costuming. I want to see the sweetest of the 20s suits. Okay, the haircut does make him look like Al Capone.
Reformers here say, put that man in jail. What does he think he is doing? And all this talk of bootlegging. What is bootlegging? On the boat, it's bootlegging. On Lakeshore Drive, it's hospitality.
Uh-oh.
Is that right?
You call yourself a professional?
There is violence in Chicago, of course, but not by me and not by anybody I employ, and I'll tell you why, because it's not good business.
Lies. Yeah, no, Capone and the mob were essentially able to take over an entire industry that had a massive demand during Prohibition. The alcohol industry has always been huge, and when it got outlawed, mobsters who were just well, I don't care about breaking the law, were just able to completely take over and made so much money.
Hey, mister!
Oh no, something's wrong with that. Oh no, I knew something was gonna be wrong with that suitcase. Holy shit, a little girl! See, not even having a moral compass when it comes to children, it just hurts my soul.
Elliot Ness, Special Agent of the Treasury Department. Thank you, Chief.
You look so
At
young.
the request of the
The City of Chicago and the federal government, specifically the Department of the Treasury, has inaugurated a special program to deal with the flow of illegal liquor and the violence which it creates.
Honestly, Prohibition is such a funny concept that happened in our history. People just want booze. I mean, even back in the way back years, it wasn't wine super common, just as an everyday drink. People love the alcohols.
All right, now, let's do some good.
Jeez.
Federal officer, you're under arrest for violations of the Volstead Act.
What if there's no whiskey in there? Oh, oh no. Ugh. See, honestly, the mob is smart. These were literally career criminals, professional criminals. I'm sure there was times when they got caught, but a lot of times they didn't, especially in these early days. That's rough, and that's a little embarrassing. Poor guy.
What do you want?
Hello to you too. That's him, right? That's James Bond, Sean Connery?
If you'd like to come with me, I need your help.
I just think it got more important to me to stay alive.
Fair. He's gonna get involved. I can just tell. His face is screaming it.
He has not filed a return since 1926.
A return.
An income tax return.
Because I know that Capone eventually got taken down because of tax evasion charges.
Okay, let's go.
Oh, hello.
Where are we going?
These walls are yours.
Now, the first thing is, who can you trust?
Nobody. The cops, nobody.
Well, if I can trust nobody, where are we going to get help?
Well, if you're afraid of getting a rotten apple, don't go to the barrel. Get it off the tree. Barry, who is consistently the best shot of this class?
Williamson and Stone.
Andy Garcia! I haven't seen him since The Godfather 3.
This kid's a prodigy.
Ooh.
George Stone. What's your real name?
Is it Vincent Corleone?
What was it before you changed it?
Giuseppe Petri.
You're a lying member of a no-good race.
It's much better than you stinking Irish pig.
Oh, I like him.
So we have Kevin Costner, who's like the committed agent. We have Sean Connery, who is like the knowledgeable old cop. And now we have the like rookie shooter in Andy Garcia. We got kind of a power team going here.
Are you ready to go to work?
Where are we going?
On a liquor ring.
On a what?
Need another man.
Finesse? I found a financial disbursement pattern here which shows some irregular...
You carry a badge?
Yes?
Carry a gun.
And the brain. Now their power squad is complete.
Here we are.
What are we doing here?
Liquor raid.
They're doing a liquor raid at the United States Post Office? Okay, alright, I'm intrigued.
If you walk through this door now, no turning back. You understand?
Yes, I do.
This is really strange.
Criminal officers!
Nobody move!
This is a raid!
Buzz!
You got a warrant. Here's my warrant.
Oh, okay. Why did that seem really staged and lame?
What is that which gives me joy?
Look at that suit. Ooh.
Baseball. Part of a team. I get nowhere unless the team wins.
Team.
Are you kidding me? What the hell? What the? Okay. Was that necessary? You know, that actually crossed my mind. When he picked up the bat, I was like, is he gonna bat somebody with it? But then he was giving his speech or whatever, and I was like, no, that's not gonna happen. And then it did. Quick side note, though. Do you think Robert De Niro put on a lot of weight for this role, or do you think he's, like, wearing something? I'm pretty sure Al Capone was kind of a bigger guy, and De Niro looked bigger in that scene. I can't believe that just happened.
Why don't you come up and brush my hair, you detective?
Come up and brush my hair. I'm gonna use that line on my boyfriend and see where it gets me.
Mr. Ness, I came up to congratulate you on a job well done. Share your good fortune on such a lovely day.
What is that?
There is large and popular business, which you are causing dismay.
Is he trying to tell a federal agent to turn a blind eye?
You tell your master that we must agree to disagree. And you tell Capone,
Hey, everyone can be gotten.
and I'll see him in hell.
Not gonna lie, that seemed like some not awesome ADR.
Little girl's having a birthday, huh? Nice to have a family.
Are you threatening him right now?
Man should take care. See that nothing happens to him.
Yeah, that sounds like a threat. The bribe didn't work and now people are threatening his wife and kid.
Where's the baby?
She's upstairs, Elliot.
The misdirect. That was scary.
If we can establish any payments to him at all, we can prosecute him for income tax evasion.
What?
I said we can
What?
prosecute him for income tax evasion.
Try a murder for not paying his taxes?
Oh, it's better than nothing.
This is so funny to me because these cops are trying to find Capone and take down Capone for some really, really serious charge like murder, you know, any of the other things that he's probably done before. And this guy who keeps bringing up the tax evasion stuff, he's said it before, saying, and now he's probably going to continue saying it. And it's like, we can take him down for this. And everybody's just like, we're gonna convict him for not paying his taxes when at the end of the day, at least in real life, that is what ended up getting him convicted. They should just listen to this guy. That's so funny. Oh, hello. I'm getting some major Yellowstone vibes from seeing Kevin Costner on a horse. Ooh, he looks like he has a Tommy gun. Has there ever been a more blatant signal?
Malone, you and I will take the map.
There go the Canadians.
Let's get out of here! Let's go!
Why did this suddenly kind of turn into like a Western?
Tough guy!
Garcia! Well, that was freaking lucky.
All right. Well, what have we got here? Hello.
Not gonna lie, this scene has had a little bit of cheese. A tiny bit of cheesiness. Just observing, there's a little bit of cheese here.
Alright, drop the gun.
Jeez, good going.
God, didn't you hear what I said?
Big oops.
I want you to write down the names of your contacts.
Why don't you kiss my ass?
Hey.
Yeah, I don't think they're just gonna hand over that information.
Look at this. You got a lot of money changing hands in this book.
I want you to translate this ledger for us.
In hell.
In hell? Fucking with you. Come on, you. On your feet. I need you to help me to translate this book, huh?
Isn't he dead?
Can't you talk with a gun in your mouth?
Does the other guy not know that he's dead? Well, I guess that was one way of doing it, I guess.
Mrs. Ness! You're not to approve of your methods.
Yeah? Well, you're not from Chicago.
Do you have another baby?
Are you making progress?
Progress? Mrs. Ness, I think your husband just became the man who got Al Capone.
Well, not yet.
All right, all the way down and no stops.
Oh, is he not an actual cop? I have a feeling the rug is about to be tugged out from under these guys.
Because I'm telling you, they are going to send
Oh my god! Damn! Now, who the heck is that guy dressed up as a cop? Damn! Man, and it started out such a happy day with, you know, his son being born and all that, and then that happens? What a friggin' disaster.
It's always a crime when a young guy goes down on the line, Jimmy.
You watched the guy run away! I feel like you're in on it, sir.
Sometimes it's better not to get involved.
Of course it's better not to get involved. Have you been bribed?
Come out here, Capone. You want to fight? You want to fight, you and me, right here?
You talk to me like that in front of my son, fuck you and your family.
It's me.
You're outgunned!
Not this way.
I think we're done.
DA's gonna drop the case.
Damn it, man. He will not go into court without a witness, and he will not go into court without Capone's bookkeeper, Walter Payne.
Get back to the DA and stall it.
Why? What are you gonna go do?
Walter. Al says we gotta get out of town until we can fix this subpoena thing. We're leaving tonight.
Mike, you got a minute?
And what are you doing in the club for cops, Jim?
He was a cop.
I need to know where this guy is, and I'm gonna rat you out for all the shit that I know that you've done in your life. You tell me, or you're going to hospital or the fucking morgue.
Oh my god. Who dat? Ooh, does he have some secret alcohol? What a tiny little shower. Gosh, this house is just long. Eek!
Brings a knife to a gunfight.
Hee
Go on, get your ass out of here!
Oh, jeez.
Hello?
Jeez, he crawled pretty far.
God damn! The bookkeeper, he's on this train.
Don't die! Don't die!
Train's leaving for Miami 12:05, Mr. Ness.
We'll be there.
It's so quiet. Was this before we had mops? Does Brian De Palma just like train stations? I can't help but think about Carlito's Way right now. This lady is moving at a new level of slow. Is he worried about this woman like being on the stairs when whoever he's waiting for comes through?
Thank you so much.
You're kind of concealing yourself, I guess, as just a dad.
Here, please, let me take him from here. You've been such a great help.
There he is! You're Mr. Bookkeeper!
something wrong?
Oh, there's a baby right there. Okay. You're gonna let the baby go rolling away? This poor woman was literally just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Oh, and this shootout had to happen right now as she's slowly getting her freaking baby up the stairs. What are you gonna do? You gonna save a baby or are you gonna shoot a guy? He did not just shoot that baby carriage. Wow, that was a lucky catch. Saved the baby and took out a bunch of bad guys. Now you stop crying.
See, I'm walking out with the bookkeeper or else he dies.
You got him?
Yeah, I got him.
Take him.
Zoinks.
In a 3-year period, I personally dispersed monies, Mr. Capone, in excess of $1.33 million.
That's big money back then.
Man in the front row wearing the white suit. He's carrying a gun.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
1634 Racine. You know, I used to have a friend who lived there.
Malone. Yikes. Okay. Oh my god. Oh, he got his hat. That was freaking lucky. What are you gonna do? Oh.
I'm gonna come see you, burn you son of a bitch, because you killed my friend.
He died like a pig.
Is that gonna throw him over the edge? It's funny that I said that. He literally threw him over the edge. Ooh! Ooh! That was a choice.
Mr. Ness, you doing okay? I think you better see this. That's a jury list, Mr. Ness. They've been bribed. Got out of Nitty's coat.
The entire jury was bribed?
Bailiff, I want you to go next door to Judge Hoffman's court. I want you to bring that jury in here and take this jury to his court.
Cause that jury's been bribed. You going downtown, buckaroony.
Wait, sir, what is this? Is this the law? What's going on over here?
Your Honor, we would like to withdraw our plea of not guilty and enter a plea of guilty.
Wait, he can do that without talking about that with him first?
I said never stop fighting till the fight is done.
Get out of here. You're nothing but a lot of talking a bit.
Well, that talking a badge just put you away, I guess. Even though all he did was enter a guilty plea, he hasn't been, like, convicted. Or am I missing something? The dream team! Oh, that thing from Malone.
Goodbye, George.
Thank you for this.
No, thank you.
So you gonna give it to him? It's like he's passing the torch.
Either one of you to have that.
Either wanted a cop to have it.
Sweet.
Mr. Ness, any comment for the record? They say they're going to repeal prohibition. What will you do then?
Yeah.
I think I'll have a drink.
Cause you deserve one. Gonna repeal prohibition. Wow. Interesting movie, as per usual, from Brian De Palma. I definitely have a few questions, so I need to go digest this and do my own analysis over the film as I'm editing this video. Because there are some things that I want to say right now, but I want to kind of have a little more information before I just blurt stuff out. I'm gonna save those things for the review portion, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw it to my future self for final thoughts. Hi. Welcome back for final thoughts, everybody. You know, I feel like with most of my videos, I don't usually go like super hard in critically with the analysis, but today might be the exception. I had a lot of thoughts when I finished watching this movie the first time, and I think now, especially after editing it, there was a lot of things that I noticed, not necessarily in a good way. Don't get me wrong, I didn't hate this movie by any means, but I think that overall, I was probably a little more disappointed than I was impressed with it. Firstly though, let's talk about the things that I actually did like about the movie. Wardrobe and costuming, on point. Set design and capturing the essence of 1930s Chicago, thought it was great. The score, although sometimes I thought it was a bit much, I did think it was fun. And that's about it, honestly. So let's move on to the issues. So my biggest beef with this movie, honestly, is the script. I felt that it was very weak, especially for a crime drama movie, which is honestly so surprising to me given that Brian De Palma directed this movie. I loved Scarface and Carlito's Way, so I don't know if I just went into this movie with too high of expectations, but if I would have watched this movie without knowing who the director was ahead of time, I would not have guessed that it was Brian De Palma. I don't know, I just feel like he kind of set like a bar of expectation with Scarface, and then after reading the description for this movie, I was fully anticipating it to just be amazing given just the subject matter itself. I wasn't a big fan of his directing in this one, but I also just wasn't a big fan of the screenplay in general, and I mean, like, you can only do so much if the script is bad. And you know, the writer of this screenplay has written a ton of other screenplays for movies and seems to be pretty good and successful at it, but I don't know, at least for me, this one just wasn't it. Some of the lines in the movie are just like really cheesy and unnatural. Corny lines coupled with not amazing acting kind of just made an overall cringy experience for me. Which we will talk about the acting in a minute. But I mean, it wasn't just the dialogue that bothered me about this script, but also just like the progression of events and the actual portrayal of Al Capone himself. And I'm not talking about Robert De Niro's portrayal of Al Capone. What I'm talking about right now has nothing to do with the acting and everything to do with the writing. For a movie that is about the takedown of Al Capone, it was really odd to me just how little he is actually in the film. I couldn't help but feel this like major disconnect between the scenes with Al Capone in it and the scenes with everybody else. Like the Capone scenes, at least to me, felt almost a little random and kind of like they were just dropped in certain places. And I just feel like they couldn't have given a more bland and like non-intimidating depiction of the villain in this story. And I mean, we're talking about Al Capone here, one of the most brutal and notorious criminal masterminds in our history. And in this film, for some reason, I just feel like Al Capone was portrayed as any other bad guy. I understand they had like the whole scene of him beating the guy's head in with a baseball bat at that like giant dinner table or whatever, but I mean, like, even that scene kind of felt off to me and didn't really seem to like propel the plot forward or move the plot forward at all. Like, you could have taken that scene out and the movie would have played out exactly the same. I don't know, I guess just as a lover of crime movies and someone who's really interested and studied the mob, they just seem to really miss the mark on this one. They had the opportunity to create a really cool portrayal of a real-life villain, but to me it just kind of fell flat. But that's not the only thing in this script that I thought fell flat. There were a lot of scenes in this movie that just felt really off to me. Like, I still don't understand how Malone just knew that the post office was where a bunch of booze activity was happening and why they randomly all of a sudden were like, yeah, let's go take down this illegal operation here. And it was like the easiest thing ever. The raid at the Canadian border was weird to me. I mean, I guess De Palma was maybe trying to morph together the genres of like noir, crime, and western, but I thought it was kind of strange. I appreciate the creativity of him trying to do something different, but again, it was kind of weird. And it's like they win so easily in these scenes. Like, they get a mission, they go out and do it with seemingly no setbacks or complications. Not all scenes, but a lot of them. I guess just the stakes didn't really ever feel that high to me, and a movie over this subject matter, I feel like they should have. Not to mention there is just a whole bunch of historical inaccuracies in this film. In reality, Ness really didn't have much to do at all with the tax evasion case against Capone. Ness didn't kill the white suit guy in the end. That guy apparently actually committed suicide in real life. The raid at the Canadian border never happened. That was all fictional. And I get it. It's a film, it's not a documentary, but I guess I just don't understand why they felt the need to fictionalize an already very interesting story, and not only fictionalize it, but fictionalize it badly. There was definitely a lot of stereotypes and cliches that were utilized throughout this movie, pretty much with every character, honestly. I mean, we have Ness, who's basically like the committed cop with a strict moral code that he never violates. We have Malone, who is kind of the like wise old cop who kind of serves as a mentor of sorts. You have Stone, who is basically a rookie cop who is just like a really sharp shooter. And then you have Wallace, ridiculous, being kind of like the nerdy accountant guy, but then as soon as you put a gun in his hands, he turns into like a total badass and takes out a bunch of bad guys. It's just all things we've seen before in Hollywood movies. But let's move on and talk about the acting. To be honest, I personally felt like the performances in this movie were pretty weak all around. But then again, I feel like that's more attributed to a bad screenplay than actual bad actors. It's just so mind-boggling to me because this movie really has like an all-star cast. De Niro, Connery, Costner, Garcia, these are all very well-known and respected actors. So how did this movie fall so flat? I mean, the script definitely didn't do the actors any favors, but even just like the characters themselves at times seemed so manufactured and like unnatural. I felt like the only performance that I wasn't really bothered by was Robert De Niro's, even though I was bothered by how they wrote his character. I mean, I am a little bit biased. I just love Robert De Niro and I will watch pretty much anything that he is in. But I just feel like this film did him so dirty because I totally believe that Robert De Niro has the acting chops to take on a role like Al Capone. He just A, didn't have enough screen time, and B, didn't have enough of a character to give an authentic performance, in my opinion. I was honestly a bit shocked to see that Sean Connery won an Oscar for this role. I mean, I do think he was one of the better performances of the bunch, but I didn't find it like particularly groundbreaking, I guess. But then again, I think that has more to do with the script than his acting. So the last thing that I would like to touch on is the fact that nothing really bothers me more than bad ADR. Automated dialogue replacement. I don't really know why they say automated, there's really nothing automated about it. But for those of you who don't know, ADR is used in situations where the audio that was captured while filming on set comes out bad or unclear, unusable, whatever, and the filmmakers basically have to redo that audio in a more controlled environment in post. They have the actor come in, they usually put on a screen the exact clip that they need the actor to re-say, and not only do they have to recapture the performance of the scene, but they also have to say their lines the exact same way so that the new audio matches their lips on the video. A lot of times the audio is more important than the video, and obviously when you're shooting out on locations and stuff like that, you can't control every single sound that can happen while you're filming. You know, planes fly overhead, or dogs bark, or people sneeze, you know, the sounds happen. Whatever it is that made the original audio bad, ADR is used to fix that problem, and if it's done right, it should just flow seamlessly with the rest of the film. You want to try to capture the most authentic audio possible to the original recording so that you can just slide it right into that spot and it is seamless and unnoticeable and not distracting. However, with the Untouchables, not only were there numerous occasions where the lips and the audio don't sync.
You took Capone.
Hey, everyone can be God.
Then I'll see him in hell. Then I'll see him in hell.
Like, what? Where does that match? You can tell in this particular example that they tried to like cut away from Kevin Costner's face, but you can just definitely tell that the words we're hearing are not what he is saying. But I mean, there's also times where you can clearly hear where the original audio stopped and where the new audio was dropped in.
Yes, got him with the heathen. That is my call box key, and that is St. Jude.
Like, you see what I'm saying? And I feel like someone who isn't looking for those things or paying attention to stuff like that, they probably weren't bothered by that at all, but that kind of stuff bugs me. As someone who's spent a decent chunk of my life working and assisting in post-production, that to me is kind of sloppy and just kind of seems like they just said good enough and called it a day, which just should not be the case for a film of this magnitude and budget. But yeah, honestly, that's pretty much all I have to say about that. And don't get me wrong with all of this, I know that I'm being pretty critical right now. I didn't hate this movie. There were elements of it that I liked, but I just think that a lot of things could have been done better. Like, this movie should have been great, in my opinion. The subject matter, the actors, the time in which it came out, like all of those, this should have been an awesome movie. But yeah, for some reason this one, it just didn't hit for me, and I don't really foresee myself coming back to it. But definitely leave me your thoughts and opinions down below. I want to hear what you guys have to say. And did I just like miss something? Is there more to this that I just didn't understand? But that's all I have to say about that. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw it back to my past self to finish out this video. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching the Untouchables alongside me. If you like this video, definitely give me a thumbs up down below and don't forget to subscribe. It really does help me out and supports my channel. If you would like to hang out with me in between uploads, make sure you check the description bar. I've listed all my social media there. You can give me a follow if you want. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you the next time I upload a new video.